It's closed on the floor. What's going on with all this? You just pick up all of the stuff that you want to take. I will deal with the rest. So we need to get this house cleared out today.
London is at the centre of an unprecedented housing crisis.
We keep moving and moving. I don't know when it's going to have to stop.
With social housing stocks at an all-time low, private landlords have been filling the gap. But more and more low-income tenants are being evicted to make way for those who can afford the capital's spiralling rents.
I just feel like they're forcing me away from the borough because we don't matter.
As a result, over 80,000 children are now living in temporary housing, 3/4 of them in London. And no one knows how many more are sleeping on floors and sofas.
It's quite scary because you're like, oh no, am I actually going to ever get a house?
Without a home to call their own, children's education, their physical and mental health, and their future chances in life all suffer.
It's quite stressful having everyone in one room, but we make do with it.
We follow two families over a year as they face the fear and uncertainty of eviction and homelessness.
My friend has been living in one of these for a year now, and I'm just hoping we get out soon, really soon. I still have dreams of getting a house, but just not hope.
Go and get your box, your pink brick box. Because that's got a lid, hasn't it? They're Ellie's. Make another teddy pile over there.
Okay.
Yeah? Just do little piles. That's what we're good at.
My name's Ellie, I am 10,
No Lego, Olivia.
and I live with my mum, my brother, and my 2 little sisters.
Aaron, no,
Daddy.
put it back. I'm going to do that one in again in a minute. Thanks for trying to help me, though.
We're trying to pack because our landlords are kicking us out and we're getting evicted because we've been asking them to do repairs and they haven't liked it. We've been asking them to sort the mould and it's all over and it's just horrible. And my mum's tried to have it fixed a lot of times, but it's just not working. It keeps on coming back.
No, Teddy's over there, Bubba.
For the last 2 years, Ellie, her brother and twin sisters have lived with their mum Erica in a private rented flat in Peckham, South London.
We'll just get some packing out of the way first, all right?
But now the family have been given 2 months' notice of eviction.
See what happens, OK? Yeah?
Their landlord can do this because there's no legal obligation to give any reason for evicting tenants on short-term contracts.
Private renting is very unpredictable. It's nice to get what you want, and you know exactly the amount of rooms you need, the space you need, but anything can happen. They can come and take it back at any time.
The family had been living in an upper-storey flat in a council block, but when she became a single parent with 4 kids and no lift, Erica felt that moving into a private ground-floor maisonette would give her children a better quality of life.
Your phone. Oh, was you?
I was in a relationship for 10 years with their dad, but no one knows what's going to happen, and I didn't know he was going to leave me, so basically I've been left in the lurch. You know, as far as I was concerned, we were secure, and then he's gone, so now I've been left to deal with it and fend for my 4 kids on my own.
Don't break them boxes, Olivia.
My sisters, they don't understand what's happening. All they've been doing is just playing while everybody else packs.
It's not easy, then. Anything easy goes.
I've enough now.
Basically, everything I've packed, they've pulled out.
No! Swear I don't need this, yeah? Can you help me put it all back in the bag? No, Olivia. Let's go. You've got 3 to let go. Go downstairs with Nanny and Grandad now. Aaron! I don't need a handlebar in the kitchen, please. Put it in the garden.
It must be hard trying to move with all the kids.
It is. Especially since they're, as you've seen, they've unpacked a lot of what I've packed up. It's not easy at all. And you don't want to tell them off constantly either, but you do get a little bit stressed and you do get a little bit, Ellie, she's the one who's worrying about it the most. I think the other 3 are just taking it in their stride. But, yeah, because they're younger, but Ellie's, she's very older mind. You know, like she's got an older head on her shoulders, basically.
feel quite upset about what's happening because I'm leaving all my friends and my school, and I just don't want to go through the whole process again. It's hard work reaching a level I was at school.
Is school important to you?
Very important to me. My school is very important to me. I just want to learn everything. I'm just sad I'm leaving. And I think leaving is quite upsetting, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I know what it's like and I don't.
But to make our last moments memorable because it's our last Tuesday in this house.
Yeah, I did have a leaving present for you.
Oh yeah?
So when you come to my house, I'll give it to you.
Yeah. Let's carry on playing. Who's it? Me. Oh.
When I got the eviction notice, I knew it was coming, but it was like my heart sunk, you know? It was like, okay, this is actually happening now. I just waited to get the actual bailiff's eviction letter so I could take it down to the housing. So that's the only time I become priority really to them, is when you get the last eviction to say, when that's it, you can't stay in the house no more. There's no more process. It's the end of the process basically.
Put that in my box. It doesn't have to be neat. Basically, me and Rebecca, we're kind of like sisters. Our friendship is very strong, very together. Over the 6 weeks holiday, nearly every single day we've been with each other. And that's for 6 weeks. I'm so glad you're my best friend because nobody else has treated me like this before. I'm just speechless that I'm going.
I felt like, why the heck are they doing this? Because they haven't done nothing wrong.
Let's go in the back! Stand up, let's go in the back!
Okay. Giving commands to people.
Ellie's granddad is helping the family move and will store their belongings in his garage until they have a new home.
Take this for now.
My greatest fear is losing Ellie and her family. Because she's my best friend, she makes me laugh. I'm speechless. She was a very good friend. The future's probably going to change without Ellie.
What's going to happen now is we're going to be going down to Lewisham where the housing is, and basically we've got to wait and see what they're saying, what they're going to do for us. Basically just me, the kids and our clothing really.
Did you get any water?
No, I'll get some when we get off the bus, all right? My greatest fear is my kids being scared, really. A hostel's a new thing to them. They've never been in anything like that before. And as an adult, you would just go into an hostel system and just live with it. When you've got a kid, that's an added fear for me.
Okay, listen, when we're inside here, we behave ourselves, do you understand? Loads of people in it today, go on.
I just feel like I'm unwanted in a hostel because you don't really get to play with your friends there, you don't have your friends over. Especially on the summer holidays.
Pretty busy in there. There is a few people in there with suitcases and things like that, so it seems like there's a few other people that need to be rehoused today as well. So yeah. We were sat around for quite a while, obviously, but when we did actually get to speak to someone, they had a 2-bedroom flat for us, temporary, so, and hopefully we'll get something permanent out of that very soon.
JJ, his little sister and mum Nicole have been homeless for over 6 months. They live in an emergency hostel in Hackney, North London.
My name's JJ, I'm 10 years old. I live with my mum and my little sister.
Did you get them? Come and put them on.
We're here because we don't have a house. I don't like living here that much. My mum doesn't like it at all. Mummy doesn't like it at all.
There you go. And the next one? This hostel's emergency accommodation. I moved here because I wasn't at my mum's house and the council said it was overcrowded. So put us in this hostel so that me and the children had some space.
Well, wash your clothes. Wash your bed sheet.
The family were living in a private rented flat outside London, but when her landlord failed to fix the boiler and with winter setting in, Nicole had to move the family to her mother's council flat in Hackney. The council then ruled that the flat was overcrowded, so the family had to move out. But because they'd voluntarily left their previous home, they were judged to be intentionally homeless.
Intentional means you decided or planned to be homeless. So, you know, that's just in itself ridiculous, to be honest. I would never plan to be homeless.
I don't like living here because all the time there's mice coming in. My mum had to bring my sister's dad to pocket all the holes because mice kept getting stuck into the pipes and making these stinky smells everywhere.
Janaya, what have you got?
I saw one run across my room, just run across my room. Who would live with mice? Nasty.
I'm paying £30 a week to live in a 2-room hostel that I cannot use a washing machine, I cannot use the chute, I cannot have visitors, I cannot even use the buzzer to let people in the daytime. I have mice infesting the flat and I pay £30 a week rent whilst on benefit. It's just depressing most of the time. There's no laundry facility for us to use unless you go to a laundrette and actually pay to use it. So I just hand wash everything. Costs about £35 a time to do about four washes. 2 large, 2 small, and then you try and dry them. Come up to about £35. For 1 wash on the off is not expensive, but if you go wash your clothes every day, you can't spend £4 or £5 every day washing clothes. It's too much.
The intentionally homeless ruling means the council has no legal obligation to house the family, though they did give them a temporary place in this hostel. Nicole split with her partner 4 years ago, so as a single mum, it's now down to her to find an affordable private let before their time here runs out. But the relentless search is taking its toll on JJ.
I've never been to a park since we've moved in this house. I just don't have time to it because my mum keeps having to go to meetings and stuff. There's nothing to do in here when you're just sitting here all day, just sitting here, just boring.
Rah, rah. Rah, rah. Rah, rah. He hates not having his friends around. I think that's his biggest issue, to be honest, is that his friends can't visit. 3 or 4 times a week, maybe he would cry and say, "Oh, Mama, I really would like a friend to stay, but why can't you just for 1 night?" But he doesn't understand that it's a hostel and that actually we're not allowed visitors after 10, so I can't have other people's children staying here. So he doesn't get that, but because what he wants is a friend.
I have to share a room with my little sister, so I don't really have that much room. No one should live like this. There's nowhere in this house to escape except the toilet. Because I have to lock the door and I have peace. I just sit in there sometimes just because that's the only quiet place.
Unlike JJ, Ellie's family is judged to be unintentionally homeless, so the council has a duty to house them. They've been given an emergency 3-bed flat 4 miles away from their old house until they can find a permanent home.
When I first walked round, I thought it was a bit yucky because of the mould on the walls. In my old place, we had like a big freezer, a big fridge. Now we only have like half of it. We can't get a lot of food in the cupboards because most of the cupboards are broken, so as soon as we pull the handle, it falls off. And then for storage in here, we've got like small stuff to hold storages, and we don't know where to put everything.
It is very... No, go and sit down before you start eating it. Give me chips. But the space is... it's a bit cramped. It's not what we're used to. I'm not used to having, not having my appliances, you know, a washing machine and a working fridge and a freezer that I can put stuff into. It's just cramped.
Look, Mummy! It's a longer journey to school from here. I'm worrying on a bus, like, are we going to be late or are we going to be early? Are we going to get there in time? Am I going to get to hang out with my friends before school? But obviously not. It feels like I've been here forever.
Keen to get to know the local area, Erica has been volunteering at the local food bank. The twins are spending the weekend with their granddad, so Ellie has come along with her mum to help out.
I spoke to Ellie about the food bank and about the charity work, so she's come down to help putting the food on the shelves for people to come and pick up.
Oh, wrong way.
Yeah.
So you see these have got family pack?
Yeah. I thought the food bank was like an actual bank where you put money in and then there's this like a vending machine and food comes out. And she worked inside, she put the right food in, but no, it's actually like a charity place.
Hello. Are you Stuart?
No, Frank.
You're Frank. Hello, Frank. I like being with people. I like meeting new people.
Every morning at 6 o'clock, I get the shopping trolley and I go down to Iceland and I go down their bins. I made a chicken pie. The chicken didn't cost nothing because I found that. And we had carrots with that, which I got from here. So our Sunday dinner yesterday cost about 12p for 2 of us.
Right.
But it only costs about 10p a day to eat because I find it in the bin.
Oh. It's the only thing, you've just got to swallow your pride and go digging, haven't you?
Sometimes the bag's right on the bottom and you have to get in the bin, don't I?
Oh no.
I have to lean right over, and I'm only little, I'm only 5'7". I have to jump right over, put my belly on it and lean right in. I don't give a toss what people think.
No.
Yeah, it's better, better than starving, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, but honestly, if it wasn't for there, we'd be dead. We'd start a death. We really, really would.
It's ridiculous.
It's fine. Anyway, have a lovely day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Oh, bless him, man. Imagine doing that. That's the first person I've spoken to that actually goes and gets his food that way. It's sad, though.
Mince would be one item. Onions would be your second item, so you could...
For their last item, they might have a dessert, chocolates.
Yeah, that's a free item.
In Hackney, JJ's time at the emergency hostel is running out. The council need the space for another family, and Nicole has been told that bailiffs will be coming in the next few days.
We're still deemed intentionally homeless. The only thing we found out was that they're going to cancel our tenancy. I just don't know what date. They won't tell me a date. They will come and apparently change the locks and that's it. It's over. So we'll just wait till then. I just pack in JJ a bag in case they do come and change the locks and they take away our stuff. Then if I can put a bag on me, then these two would be Jay's because that's the stuff he makes at school. Pictures he draws and things, and I'll take his picture off the walls and put them in the bag as well. So he's got those little men, he collects them, he sleeps with them, plays with them, and I don't want them to get taken and thrown away or anything.
Although the council is not legally obliged to rehouse the family, it has found a landlord willing to rent a 3-bed flat, but in a different borough. It's a long way away.
I went to see a second floor flat. The space was good, but now Javante would have to travel 4 hours every day to get to and from school, or maybe even have to move school if we move to that property.
If JJ has to change schools, not only will he lose his circle of friends, but his education is likely to suffer again.
I'm in year 5 and I've moved to like 5 schools already because we kept moving and moving and moving and moving. So it is kind of annoying. Why can't we just stay in one house, one school and done?
Makes me feel upset that he doesn't keep a continual circle of friends. I had that when I was young. We grew up with each other. It's like, it's your community, those little friends, and he doesn't have that. And I feel like he's missing out a lot on his childhood, missing out on his social, emotional development with other children. It's like he cuts off and runs away almost from what's going on, but really he's got to leave, he's got no choice.
Brush your teeth, brush your teeth.
When we move, we don't know how far we're going to move. It worries me very much because I don't want to lose more friends. I lost 2 friends already. They were called Alfie G and Dion. They were my best friends and I just really, really missed them very much.
The bailiffs will arrive any day, so Nicole either has to accept the flat out of borough or the family will be on the streets.
I've already looked into the closest school to that property that they've offered me in Plumstead. My son, they said he probably wouldn't get a space in year 6 at all. There is no spaces in the school, so he would have to go to a school in that area but far from the house anyway. On top of it, his bestest friend he's made in this school now, and he thinks they're going to stay in year 6 together and go to secondary school together. And how can you take that away? Sorry. How can I say that again? This is the 6th time. How can I say for the 6th time, say bye to your best friend, say bye to your plans, let's go. It's selfish. But then if I don't take the place in Plumstead and that's all they're offering, then I made myself homeless. They're not... I just feel like they're forcing me away from the borough because we don't matter. My kids don't matter, I don't matter. It doesn't matter that my children have a routine, they have a nice little life and they're happy with their schools. That doesn't matter to them. They're just saying take it or go on the street.
Ellie, please don't.
You don't want to do that.
It's not even that, you could have just gone too far over. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Despite being quite run down, the rent on Ellie and her family's temporary flat is over £500 per week. Her mum had understood that this was covered by housing benefit, but she's just had some bad news.
When I've got this place, they've said to me that they're going to change all the housing benefit over, so I didn't get into arrears. And the whole time I've been living here, no one's let me know that the housing benefit wasn't being paid. So now I'm in £3,710 arrears. They said that there's a hostel come up in the Lewisham area, so I've got to move.
The thing that bugs me the most is that Mum's like a bit worried that it might happen again and again. After the hostel, we might have to go back into a temporary flat, back into a hostel, back into another temporary flat. It's too much.
Well, as far as I was concerned, we were going to get our permanent place after this place. I can't help thinking that this arrears is basically put me in put me in this situation. I already feel myself so stressed. I'm starting to cry every minute. I'm on antidepressants already. You do feel like you're alone, no matter whether you've got support or not. You've got to do it all on your own. You've got to cart your kids around.
I feel stressed myself, but I don't know what she's actually feeling because she does tell me sometimes. Sometimes she just starts like dropping tears out of her eyes. We ask her if she's crying. She says she's not, but we know she is.
Seeing that sort of amount of money when you're on benefits and you've got 4 kids, or you've got any sort of kids, you know, could cause you to do anything to yourself, you know what I mean? I'm just glad that I've got my head on my fucking shoulders, that I ain't gonna go and do something drastic, do you know what I mean? But that could cause anyone to do anything to themselves, especially if you're in you're in a depressed state already, you suffer with depression and then they send that to you. And they don't warn you or anything like that.
We're going to move into a hostel. Mum said in the future maybe we'll be sitting around on Christmas in about 10 years' time, laughing about our adventures. I don't know if that's going to really happen. Goodbye, house.
Faced with the arrears, the family has no choice but to move again, this time to a homeless hostel back across the borough towards Greenwich. It's less than a mile from their original flat.
Oh, I hate this bit. Put this there. Just gonna, to make sure it's mine, my bed, I'll put my stuff there. Because I've got this bit here, I've got a secret storage space. I've got a secret storage space.
So this is your bed then, yeah?
This is so my bed. That's Aaron's bed. Olivia, I'm sorry. I think this house is a nice home. And I would like to live here for ages. Mummy! Mummy, look, are you ready? Like you said, I'm a daredevil.
Unwilling to take JJ out of school again, Nicole has turned down the flat in South London. For the moment, the family are sleeping on a friend's sofa in Tottenham.
Surrender! I only bring a little bit of toys. My mum brings her laptop, some clothes, and that's really all. I won't surrender and you can't make me. Oh yeah?
Both my friends' children are here. Sleeping arrangements usually one child on the bed, one child on the floor. Some people down in the sofa, some people upstairs in 2 bedrooms. So with there being, 6 people in a 2-bedroom, and there's only 3 beds. So sometimes you have to do a sofa or roll out a mattress on the floor and do the floor. I had a few times where you just feel like you're in the way. So that's why I try to not even ask a lot of people for long-term stay, because they if and are before asking, whereas if you ask for a week or something, then people will be like, okay, the next week, and it's like they can grin and bear it for a week. But that's other people. Even my mum, after a week, she's had enough. I feel bad, if you know what I mean, looking at other people organise their life around having us stay. It's a bit, yeah, it's a bit sad, to be honest.
So are you still looking at the houses?
Yeah, still searching. Every day I look through stuff. Every single day I make calls when the kids are at school, and I'll send emails and check for properties, see if they're available, see if they're in the right price range. Don't find anywhere. Nowhere is affordable or available. You just search and search and search.
£28,000 a week.
That is absolutely crazy. That's not so bad, is it?
£20,000 a week. Okay.
Is that a little cinema room?
That's a big cinema room.
Whoa. And you see the garden?
It looks like a movie. It looks. £200 per week.
That's £950 per week. That's
too much.
What about 900?
Has to say about 300.
What? You'll never get a house.
Well, let's not laugh, but it's true.
700 a week, go slow. Sometimes I ask friends, where are you going? And they're always like, oh, going home. And then I have to say, oh, I'm going like to my auntie's every single time. I never say, because I don't have a home yet, I always just say, I'm going somewhere else. Someone asked me, why do you never go home? And I'm like, because I don't like it. and then I kind of lied, because I don't have one yet. It's not a nice thing to not have a home and know all your friends do, and you're just the odd one out without a house. It's not a nice feeling.
The homeless hostel Ellie's family have been assigned to houses 13 families, all waiting for a permanent home.
I don't do as much homework as I used to. It's a bit difficult because I've got no space to myself. There's no places that I can do my homework, so I have to lay down on the floor on my belly, and I don't really like that. None of my friends have come over here yet, so I want Rebecca to come over, but she can't because this is a hostel. I don't get to go out when I want.
What's going on?
My mum can't trust me to go outside by herself. She has to always be watching over the balcony.
What are you doing?
Isolated in the hostel, Erica can no longer get as much support from her father, and with her mother living in Wales, she has no one else to turn to for help with the children.
Get off your bed, because there's going to be crumbs on there. Come on now.
Yeah, but I don't like...
You're not allowed to eat on the bed, and you know that. Now stop it.
My mum's coping fine, but she's just stressed out that she has to share a room with us, because obviously she's 36 and she needs her privacy.
You know, it's horrible. I hate this place, I really do. I could deal with it, but then when I see bugs and things like that, no. We've got bed bugs and bloody cockroaches. We need pest control around here. I'm about to have a nervous breakdown because of it. It's not good. What's that, Olivia? Mommy, There's water on the floor because you spilled it, yeah? Since living here, their behaviour has got worse. I think it's because they're all just bunched in one room. They're not listening to me anymore as much.
Don't pull it on me!
Olivia, bring the mop back now.
It's affected their behaviour, definitely, for the worst.
Olivia, stop! Olivia, can you stop it?
What are you doing?
She keeps on hitting the mop on my...
Stop it, Olivia. Aaron,
Don't do it for me.
his temper's gone haywire. I bought him a punch bag for his birthday and he's trying to use it because he got in trouble for kicking his sister in the stomach because she jumped on him and she jumped on his leg. So he just lashed out at her, you know, and you can't be kicking a 4-year-old. That's just, you're 8 years old and you're kicking your 4-year-old sister. It's not on.
Olivia! Take that broom off, Aaron, now. Quickly go take that broom off Aaron, now. Quickly.
When I get angry, it's mostly because of Ellie or the babies, and then I always get angry at them and then push them or hurt them, and then Mom got me the punching bags for when I get angry. I go outside and just like punch it until I calm down. People need their own space. People need fresh air. They need somewhere that they can actually go up to when they're feeling upset or when they want some alone time, or they like somewhere they can't be all cooped up, especially a garden so they can play out.
After a month of sofa surfing, JJ's mum is worried about imposing further on friends, so the family are back at her mother's place. But if the council find out, the family risks being evicted for overcrowding once again.
You become a burden. So we just left and came staying at my mum's for a bit. Now we're here. I haven't done nothing but search for properties every single day. Every day, and now I haven't had one viewing. They leave us searching and searching for months and years, looking like there could be hope, when actually there's none.
Homelessness has had an impact on Nicole's education. She's studying for a degree with the Open University, but has been struggling to keep up with the coursework.
I will still finish university, I just don't know when anymore. I felt like I'll finish uni in another year and a half, but I think that if I do, I won't pass with any flying colours. And to be honest, I think I could have done a lot better already. Even just taking the time out to visit museums and stuff to see the artwork for some of the work that I do. I've missed all the trips, missed all the tutorials, just like failing.
I feel heartbroken. Dismal and glum, because we all want a house to live in, but it's permanent, not temporary.
Sometimes you feel like you don't want one more day. It's enough. Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry. Mommy, what's wrong?
I'm just thinking. Because it does feel like it's going to be a lot longer.
Mummy, look at these ones.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're meant to see out of these.
They're just gimmick glasses, they're not really meant to do you anything.
You
They
hardly
don't even
see
shade
out.
your eyes. They
No.
don't shade your eyes though.
Because there's no lenses in it, it's just lines. Yeah, I'm just gonna close this. Mummy, is that nice?
Excellent.
Try to put them as much as I can. Me and my mum have got closer, and I've learnt that we've got to respect what we've got.
Oh, but you want to prove to
I want to work with you now.
Do you? I used to go work with my mum all the time.
Right now, at least I've got a roof over my head. Some children are literally living on the streets with their parents. Could be a lot worse. Aaron, sorry, she never meant it.
God's sake, sounds like murder out there. Yeah, I thought I would be able to cope coming into a hostel as I suffer with depression. I thought I'd be able to cope on the medication I was already on. So I dealt with it for a week, And by the end of the week, it got to me so much that I couldn't cope no more. On a Saturday, I was just uncontrollably crying all day long, no matter who I had around me. You're not really being ridiculous now. They really are. Behave yourselves. No more tent. If you can't behave yourself, no more tents. Look at all the covers on the floor and you've got to sleep under them. Pick up the covers and put them back now. Jesus. Sorry. The stress of having like 4 kids in a hostel and not having them settled is a big thing for me. It all just piled up and got on top of me. Sunday was another low day, but it wasn't so much crying, it was so much like just horrible thoughts most of the day. So for me to deal with it, I just wanted to, instead of thinking them, I just thought, right, go to sleep. It's another sign of depression, just to sleep all day. Ellie done the lunch, and I woke up in time for dinner. Done dinner, got bathed and bed, and I went back to bed myself. And it's just stressful, knowing you've got to do it all on your own as well.
Oh, come on, make your own little private tent. Stop.
Right, come on now. Come and get your food, please. And if you don't want it, what happens? That's Ellie's. What happens?
I don't want a lot, Mommy, I don't want a lot.
You do starve.
I don't want a lot.
I wish we had a dining room, but we don't. If we had a dining room, we would get chairs to sit on. We just sit on the floor, sit on the beds. We sit anywhere we can, really.
Chloe, what happens when you don't eat your food? You go to bed, get into your night clothes now. Go into the bathroom and get into your night clothes.
Mommy, where's my top? It's not on the pillow.
Me and my brother at night time, just to get my little sisters to sleep, we stay out here when the twins go to bed. My mum goes in the kitchen or just watches the TV.
We just have to stay in here. There's nothing to do because we've only got a few games we can play.
I'm worried because my mum said it could be like, we could be living in here for a year.
I would like someone to make a map. Mark my home and draw some lines that match all of the reasons why it can be like you said. One day it's gonna happen and you're gonna be swept off your feet. You're gonna be swept off your feet.
2 months after JJ and his family were evicted from the hostel, they're still moving between friends and family. This week, they're back at his grandma's.
We've moved around to my mum's friends, my granddad, Romeo's house, back to my mum's friends and here. I go to a place and it doesn't feel like home because it's someone else's home, and I feel unsafe, unsure about the places. And sometimes I just stay in the living room, just sit there sometimes because I don't want to go anywhere else because it's someone else's house. How did Yaya get a headache?
It's disgusting. That's disgusting, that noise.
I can't hear it no more.
Stop. No, she'll start.
Do you think she's affected by what's going on?
Yeah, I do. Because if she visits anybody, family or friends, they have their own little rooms. She wants to play, and she doesn't. And she knows. She knows, so she says, I want to go to your house, Mum. So she does know. She knows what it means. She knows she doesn't have a room.
Many people would think that living how you're living now is more disruptive for the kids than living far away.
You'd say that, but we lived in Mitcham 4.5 years in a private property that was not good. The landlord needed to sort some things out for it, and that was exactly the situation for Plumstead. And I know how long you can be left, which is forever, by a private landlord. As long as they say they can't afford or fix whatever it is that's in your house, they won't come and fix it, and you'll just be stuck there. And no one helps you when you try to travel to see your family every weekend. When you try and get your kids to school, no one helps pay for those things. I know that because I lived in Mitcham for 4.5 years and we never saw my mum. We saw her 3 times in 4.5 years, and I think that's ridiculous.
If I had to take a house and it was too far to see my family, I would just feel so sad. I would just sit in my room just staring out at the window, because you're supposed to love your family, you're supposed to care about your family. You're not supposed to just lock them out and never see them again. That's not right.
I asked if you've got a hostel or B&B or something I can pay my housing benefit with and stay there. So we're in one place. This is ridiculous moving around. My efforts have not stopped every single day to move, find somewhere to live, but in the borough or close to the borough, but they said no.
What do you hope for, Jodie?
I hope we get a house that has 3 bedrooms, nice heating, because we've had a lot of problems with that in our houses. Nice neighbours and enough room to fit all our stuff in. So we're not all cramped in our rooms and stuff like that. So I don't mind if it's a big garden or a small garden, but I do hope I do get a garden. I don't mind what size, small, big, medium, tiny. Big.
I'm playing dogs.
Chloe, you're not a dog. Chloe, stop buying the book. Mum,
Yes, hon.
can you tell Chloe to stop acting like a dog?
What?
Chloe, she's acting like a dog.
That's what she wants to do. Chloe's made her go like that. The heat in this room is like, if I said a sauna, that's what it's like. You just sit there, lose weight, I suppose.
It's the hotness that always makes me feel angry in here. It isn't fair because it's only me and my mum that always gets angry and stressed out. And Ellie and the babies, they don't normally get frustrated. I've only seen Ellie get frustrated like 10 times now. I've been frustrated like at least 49 times or 47.
Making a house so people can live in. That's the door. That's the wall. That's the roof.
Whenever I get hot, I always end up doing something naughty.
Aaron!
Aaron, come here.
Don't step. Ow.
Why are you looking at ways to get into trouble?
There's nothing to do.
I know. What do you think I've got to do? Nothing. It's not forever. We just have to deal with it for a little longer, innit? Do you want a hug? Do you want hugs or not? Come on then, give me a hug. Come on. Oh, am I going to get one back?
I just find it hard to just keep myself calm in here because I have nothing to do.
If I could wish for something right now, I would just have my own bedroom and all have our own bedroom to be settled. Everything just to be back to normal. I had normal once. Olivia, come and see my beautiful house. Olivia, look what you made me do.
3 months after being evicted from the hostel, Nicole finally has some good news. She's found a 2-bedroom flat that she can afford in Enfield, close to her family. It means some stability at last for JJ and his sister.
This house is 100% better than the hostel. 100 billion% better. Now it's great being in our own house. Now we don't have to push people out of their house and say, we're staying here for a minute.
The tenancy's a year, but if I could stay for longer, I will, because I don't want to not be anywhere again, to be honest.
This is the living room where the extra stuff is put and where we eat and where we keep all the stuff when we go to holidays or birthdays. In other people's houses when we're staying there, we can never put out pictures. We can't put stuff where we want to put it because it's their house. When it was my first night, the bed was already here and I felt straight at home, and then when it was night time, everyone just went straight to sleep. It was really cozy. And because Mummy put on the heater, it was so warm. I had to put my covers all the way over here and I was just sleeping like this.
I'm happier. I'm a bit stressed because I've got to redo uni. I've got to redo a year of uni because of the homelessness. Made my assignments late and they failed me for 3 assignments. But at least I got my own home to do my course work in now and get everything done, not have to retake again. And yeah, it's much, much better, much more comfortable for the children. They're much happier. Right, your turn.
My turn. Can you hold it?
I am holding it. Wow. That did not go where it's supposed to go, did it? Right, go on, flick it then.
I was dreaming I would get a flat at own house, but it never happened until now.
What's like that? Cancel.
I know how to take it. I know how to write it.
After 10 months living in the hostel, Ellie's family have been offered a 3-bedroom house less than a mile away, though they don't yet have a moving date.
I read the letter, sat staring at it for ages, and I was like, Ellie, read these words and just make sure that I'm not seeing things.
We're hoping that the garden's going to be big enough so we can put a trampoline in it. I just want a trampoline back.
How amazing is it going to be to have space again, our own rooms again?
Right, move out of the way now. No, so I can't just have a normal life. Come and get down. I will drag you down. Today is, oh my God, today is the 5th of September and we left, I think, was it the 5th of September? Wait. Yep, it was. Means it's been 1 year since we left.
A year ago, I thought we would be sorted by now. I didn't think we'd be waiting a whole year. I thought I'd be out of the hostel system by now.
I can't believe it's been a year. It's gone so quickly, and the thing that annoys me the most is that I've actually called this home, which feels really irritating for me because I never thought I would, and this place is like not a real home. It's just one room that we all had to sleep in.
Don't test me, I'll take it away from you, you know I will. Stop doing that.
Although the family have accepted the offer of the house, it's not yet fit to live in. The council haven't given them a date for when the repairs will be done.
They said that they've got a house for us, but like we haven't moved into it because like we looked through the letterbox and it looks really messy, like cowboy builders, like how they do like they leave it. And then my mum got a letter saying it's not ready because it's not safe enough yet. So it kind of made me feel upset because here I am 2 months later still in this place. If they could say that after 2 months, how long would it be till we actually move in? Yeah, my bed. I don't think anybody should experience living in a hostel.
It would be better if we lived in our own house, because then we can just have freedom and have more space to run around.
I think everyone should have a house. And the poor people we see on the streets, I think they should have a house too.
Ellie's wait for a place to call home has finally come to an end, and the family have moved in after 15 months of homelessness.
Having so much space is just a dream come true. You've seen us in squash places, now you finally see us free. We've got more bedrooms, we've got like our own space, we've got a garden, and we've got a wash machine, and we have to dry our back, and we've got all our toys back.
As rents in the private sector continue to go up and affordable housing options diminish, charities fear that levels of homelessness are set to increase. In the end, it is children who will continue to feel the impact of life without a permanent home.
Do you think you're the only kid in London who lives like this?
No. I think there's loads more out there. Moving and moving.